everyone, how are you all? First of all, before we start anything, Merry Christmas. I hope you all are having a very splendid Christmas today. I hope you are eating a lot of cookies. I hope you have a beautiful Christmas tree in your house. And I hope you are having a gala time with your family, friends, and loved ones. Okay. So today what we are going to do is I'm not going to do like a lot of like lecture and spread a lot of gyan here. None of that. I am going to suggest some very feel-good Christmas movies that I like to watch in this time. I love Christmas movies; they are my jam. Romantic comedies, something that highlights family time, a couple meets and all of that. I just love these feel-good Christmas movies. Okay. And when I say feel good, we are not talking about movies that have very intricate plot lines or nuanced writing and like a character developments and interesting characters. None of that. Characters are going to be one toned. They are going to be really predictable, but they're going to be funny. They're going to be romantic. They're going to be so warm. They'll bring warmth to your heart. Like literally the kind of movies that you'd like to watch after curling up in the bed with your loved ones or even like alone, just like wrapping a blanket around you and like just sipping hot chocolate and eating your favorite cookies and watching that movie. That's the kind of movies we're going to talk about today. So I have 10 here with some honorable mentions. So what we are going to do, this list is based on hierarchy. So the top 10 will come first and जो हमारा first preference है, that will come the last. This list is made after I have wasted a lot of time just binge watching Christmas movies because yes, that's something that I like to do. Welcome to this trait of my personality. A new trait of my personality is just unlocked here on this channel and I don't know what to think about it. Okay, so let's just dive right in and I hope you enjoy. Okay, number 10 is Holiday Calendar. So Holiday Calendar is a very like beautiful movie because the focus, yes, there's a romance at the center, but the focus is not just that. Focus is the family and the feeling of family getting together. So it's basically a woman in her about 20s who gets a holiday calendar. I think that's a family heirloom that gets passed on from her grandmother to her. And that holiday calendar, there are few doors, and behind every door, like there's a sort of like a Christmas related ornament. And that particular ornament, that particular item actually reveals what's going to happen to her. So it's sort of like a magical calendar. And I love these magical fantasy things just thrown around like that. So every 12 a.m., like a door opens in that Christmas calendar and she discovers like a small little thing. Like if there's a shoe over there, then something will happen to her shoe in the rest of the day, and that particular event will lead to something great happening into her life. So all of those things are really special, and I really like that mystery element कि अभी कौन सा door खुलेगा और कौन सी चीज आएगी. The couple that is at the center is also really cute. They are imperfectly perfect in their own way, and I really like that. So Holiday Calendar is definitely a pick. Okay, number 9 is A Christmas Prince, the Royal Baby. So there are two parters. First is the Christmas Prince, where the couple meets and everything. There's a king of like a province that visits New York, but he's a king or a prince of a British province. And he visits New York and meets this regular New Yorker journalist, and they fall in love and everything. But I'm not suggesting you the first movie. I'm actually suggesting you the second movie where they are already king and queen and they're having a baby. What's really nice about this entire picture is how they're living with their family, and it's actually really like thematically very beautiful and very warm. But at the same time, they are trying to take these measures to make the kingdom very modern, very feminist, very strong, very woke, to be to be blunt with you. And I really like that kind of approach that they are taking. And even though it's not a movie that you should be taking seriously, there's a mystery element also that you shouldn't be taking seriously. But I think the characters are very likable and you'll have a gala time watching this, and it's a very warm movie. So the second part, Christmas Prince, the Royal Baby. Definitely check it out. Number 3, Ghost of Girlfriend's Past. So if you are a Charles Dickens fan and you have read A Christmas Carol, you'll actually know what's going to happen, because this particular movie is based on Charles Dickens' short novel, but a very famous novel, A Christmas Carol, where there's a grumpy person who just hates everything Christmassy, neglects his family and friends and dear ones, and wants to, spend Christmas alone. And then he goes to sleep. on Christmas Eve, I believe, and then three ghosts come in and they show him like the his future, past, and present. When he actually hurt someone in the past, whatever he did today, how it has hurt someone in the present, and how it will reflect for him in the future. So what happens here? It's a twisted version here. It's a guy who is like a jerk to all his girlfriends. So all his other, like, there's a ghost that comes in and takes him to past, present, and future, and shows him all the girls that he has hurt in his past, present, and what the future is going to hold like for him. He's going to be alone with no family and all of that. So that really hits him and changes him as a person. So it's a really nice movie because the ghost that comes in, like his like teenage girlfriend, she is really cute and really fun to watch, and I really like the entire subplot. So yeah, do check it out. It has a really comic element also, and it's a really, like, it's based in this beautiful sort of Christmassy night sort of an atmosphere. It's always night in that movie, so I really like that. Check it out. Number 7 is The Holiday. So what happens here is that there are two women who are living in two different parts of the world, and they are unhappy with their lives. One is living in sort of like a mansion sort of a house, and other one is living in this cozy sort of holiday cottage sort of a place, and they are really unhappy with their lives, and they want an adventure in their life, their romantic life, their work life. It's sort of not really nice, and it's in shambles. So they meet on sort of like a house crossover platform where you can switch houses for holidays. So they switch houses, and the one who lives in a cottage, she goes to live in the mansion, and the one who lives in the mansion goes to live in the cottage, and they basically are replaced in each other's lives. So and they start meeting the people in their individual lives, and how one person's problems becomes the other person's problems. It's Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet, so I'm sure you'll of course really enjoy this movie. It's really nice, and it shows like a camaraderie between the two girls also, and it's not a mean movie, which I really like. Like, there's a difference in financial status and everything, but those things do not matter because of the camaraderie between them and the camaraderie between the two plots. So I really like that. Go check it out. It's a very beautiful movie. Number 6 is Dash and Lily. So it's a beautiful teenage romance movie. So what happens is Dash is this guy, I think they are both 18, 19, 20 years old. He actually is an avid reader, and the girl is also an avid reader. They don't know each other. He hates Christmas, by the way. He goes to his favorite bookstore, and he started doing some puzzle. So he actually writes something in a red book, and he hides it into a bookstore. Then Lily comes in because it's her favorite bookstore also, and she picks out the book and she reads it, and there's a clue, and the clue leads to a puzzle, and then she writes something else, and puts the book back, and then they take the book out of the bookstore, and then the puzzle leads them to a destination where they find the book again. There's a whole like intricate plot. They don't meet each other for the most of the movie, but it's so nice to see this little baby romance sort of forming. They both are in a really, really different space in life, and they both feel like they can't trust each other because they're so different once they meet. But I think what really brings them together is the love that they have for books, and is the fact that they don't even know, but their interest, that common interest for books and bookstore and reading and everything brings them together. And when they first meet, actually they don't think that they are right for each other, but then they go past the physical appearance and everything of it, and then they really like forge a bond, and I really like that. And I anyways liked movies that are based on teenage romances that are actually really pure and sweet and not like mean and all that. So yeah, definitely Dash and Lily, and as a fellow bookstore fan, I really, really enjoyed that movie, and I hope that you will too. नंबर 5 इज लव हार्ट. ये मूवी मैंने कल ही देखी है, बहुत ही अच्छी मूवी है. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज देयर इज दिस गर्ल who is a writer, because most of these movies the girls are writers, and she actually meets someone on a dating app, and they really like bond on the app. And then this guy says that wish you were with me on Christmas, because Christmas is just right around the corner. And she goes and visits him in whatever, like in a different part of USA. And what she realized, that she has been catfished. This is not the guy that she was talking to. Like, they talked on phone and text and everything, but the picture that was on the online dating app, it's not the same guy. And then there's an entire like mystery that unravels. Now it looks like sort of like a crime mystery sort of a thing. Like, how can this mean guy who has catfished this girl, how can we be interested in their story? But it actually turns out to be quite sweet, and it talks about insecurities. It talks about how toxic masculinity can be, um, how family pressure and one person or one sibling being a center of attention can really sabotage the other person's happiness and their unique personality, and all of those things. And I really like that movie. It's a very sweet and warm movie, and you should definitely watch it, and I know it will light up your mood. Number 4 is Christmas Inheritance. So it's a very beautiful movie, okay? So there's this girl who is really rich. I mean, her father is rich, and her mother is no more. So it's definitely like she has a business degree, everything. She's good with her things, but on a holiday party, some scandal happens, and her father is really angry with her. And her father says that before you take on the charge of CEO of the company, you need to do something for me. You need to take this letter and give it to a friend of mine in this particular small town. You have to go. And she's a New Yorker. So from New York, she has to go and give this letter to her father's friend. And he says that if you do this job properly, then I will feel that you're not only inheriting this job, but you're ready for it. So she takes the letter and she goes to this small town, and obviously the friend is not there, and she's stranded in a hotel. And then she meets the hotel's owner, who's obviously super cute, and they have a romantic story. But what I really like about this story is the romance that actually builds between them is very genuine. It's not based on physical appearance. It's not based on any of that superficial things. They actually they actually develop a bond, and they start respecting each other for who they are, and that's extremely important. She falls for his generosity, and he falls for her big heart, which is very important, I think. So definitely a very beautiful love story and an equally warm Christmas movie. Go check it out. Number 3 is a classic, Love Actually. This is the only movie on my list, by the way, which is not on Netflix. I think it's on Amazon Prime. Yeah, I think it's on Amazon Prime. मुझे explain करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Love Actually में बहुत सारे couples होते हैं. बहुत ही अच्छी movie है. We all remember that scene, that carol singer scene. Uh, yeah, I mean it's a beautiful. I mean it's the OG Christmas movie, and I think we should all watch it and just feel that warm tingling in our hearts. Number 2 is Bridget Jones' Diary. Cannot get enough of that movie. I've watched that movie 15 times probably. And I've watched the other, like the remaining parts also. There are like 2 different parts, I believe, after this movie. But Bridget Jones' Diary, the first one, remains the classic. Um, it's so nice because when I see Bridget is this insecure girl. When I see her, I see myself in her because she's imperfect and she's stumbling across life. She's stumbling around life, trying to figure out different parts of her life. And she's in her, I think, early 30s in the movie at that time. She's going through her parents' divorce. She's going through her, the failing career. She's going through a miserable love life. And also, like, being imperfect when she actually thinks and perceives all the other girls and women around her to be these perfect divas. So, and also it has really nice humor. Without it being caricaturish, I think the lead actress and everybody around her, they are just superb. They are so nice. Like the humor of this movie. Not a lot of Christmas movies are actually funny. This one is. Definitely check this out. Now, before I unravel my first pick, I think I need to give some honorable mentions. Here are the honorable mentions. Number 1 is Holiday Season. It's a Kristen Stewart movie. Of course, it's gonna be great. What happens is that Kristen Stewart visits her partner's family, and they're going to tell them, I think they're going to get married or something like that. I think I'm forgetting if they're engaged or already engaged or something. Then they're going to tell the family, but she learns that her partner has not come out to the family. And then she's like, okay, I think I'm guessing this is a disaster. And then a lot of like comic consequences, comic like things fall after that, and it becomes really nice because there's a lot of confusion. And but in spite of all that confusion and stumbling blocks, it represents the LGBTQ community, and I think it's really great for doing that. So yeah, Holiday Season. Number 2, Holidays in the Wild. So it's a Kristen Davis movie. Charlotte, Sex in the City. You know who I'm talking about. So what she does is, and actually, this movie is inspired from her real life in a sort of a way, because she has also worked a lot for a lot of causes that include wildlife and animals. And in this case also, she divorces her husband after her son goes off to college. And then she explores this completely different side of her life, where she was, a housewife for 20 so many years. And now she works for different animals. She works with elephants in Africa, and she really finds her joy in that. And of course, it's woven around holiday season, so it has that holiday spirit also. But I really liked, I felt as if I'm seeing the real Kristen Davis coming into play here. Number 3 is हॉलीडेट. इट्स अ फाइन मूवी. अगर आपको दिमाग बंद करके मूवी देखनी है तो हॉलीडेट देख लीजिए. इसमें what happens is there is this guy who wants a date for holiday. They meet and they become each other dates for holiday. They are fake dates, but what happens is afterwards they actually find love in each other, and it's a cute, romantic, sweet movie. If you don't want a great movie, but like a normalish movie will do, Holiday is a great pick for you. And number 1, the movie that I love the most, my favorite ever favorite Christmas movie is The Last Christmas. So Last Christmas is a beautiful movie starring Emilia Clarke. So I actually watched it on train. I was going somewhere last year and I watched it, and it's a beautiful movie about this girl who is in her 20s and she's trying to figure out her life, all right? And she has just had a heart surgery. She she isn't on great terms with her family. She wants to be a singer, but she goes and fails the auditions. She works as an elf in a Christmas based store and she's not happy with her job. And even with that job, she's terrible. And she pisses off her like boss. Her mother and her sister and father, everyone, have dysfunctional relationships. But then she meets this guy who centers her and brings her peace. And I really, really like that. In the process of loving him, she started loving herself. And then there's a great message at the end. I will not explain the entire movie to you because it's my favorite Christmas movie of all times. And I don't want to ruin this movie for you. So yeah, please go watch it. These are my 10 favorite, all-time favorite Christmas movies. And I hope you'll enjoy watching these movies if you ever get the chance to. And I hope this list helped you in some way. नाउ मैंने आपका बहुत सारा टाइम ले लिया है मूवीज के बारे में बता के. अभी आप जाइए और ये मूवीज खुद देखिए. एंड आई होप यू ऑल हैव अ वेरी 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 मेरी क्रिसमस.